Thank you, team, for being here to discuss taking Cupcake Blues international. Obviously, the international marketplace is new for us, and our goal is to have a smooth, efficient entry into this new market. For those joining us for the first time, Cupcake Blues, based in Wenatchee, Washington, is exploring the possibility of exporting its specialty cupcakes to Canada. This presentation identifies best practices for marketing our product in Canada for the first time. When implementing the best practices our team has identified, it is imperative that Cupcake Blues utilizes appropriate communication formats. This presentation identifies several communication formats. Integral to marketing Cupcake Blues specialty cupcakes in Canada are our stakeholders. We will identify stakeholders and discuss their role in our introduction into Canada. We will also discuss project goals and timelines and offer advice for adhering to established timelines. Finally, we will discuss rules and guidelines for effective intercultural business communications. Some of the rules and guidelines we will be discussing are a few recommended best practices, appropriate formats for our communication, our project goals and timelines for completing those goals, and finally, we will talk about our stakeholders. A recommended best practice and critical to Cupcake Blues' success in Canada is performing thorough market research. Current market intelligence is essential for us to target the best international market opportunities and make informed business decisions when evaluating potential overseas business partners. Our team recommends Cupcake Blues does its due diligence prior to making any official or legally binding business decisions. We advise that Cupcake Blues investigates the capabilities, legitimacy, and financial strength of a business partner overseas and obtain information from government, industry, and financial contacts, the local press, and other sources. Early on, Cupcake Blues needs to decide on whether it intends to indirect or direct export its products. Do we work through independent intermediaries or handle our own exports? Indirect exporting has two advantages. First, there's less investment. Second, there's less risk. Direct exporting is costlier and carries more risk, but has the potential for higher returns. The decisions to directly or indirectly export is not under this team's purview. Finally, we advise every member of the management team to take monthly trips to British Columbia area and immerse themselves in the culture. We feel the best way for the team to truly understand the target area is to make this short 4-hour trip, visit local bakeries and cupcake businesses. Cupcake Blues can and will use social media as well as radio advertisements in the target market area to let people know about our expansion into Canada. Depending on the export strategy Cupcake Blues decides to use, direct or indirect exporting, the company may use existing retailers' advertising networks. The most practical way to communicate is via telephone. However, Cupcake Blues is capable of meeting via WebEx, Adobe Connect, and other video conferencing programs. Cupcake Blues will email paperwork to our business partners in Canada, or if an original signature is required, we will utilize FedEx International Delivery. Finally, since Cupcake Blues is in Washington State, face-to-face communication is also feasible. Our target market of Canada is the British Columbia area and is only 4 hours away. We recommend establishing project goals and timelines. Specifically, we recommend that within 30 days of voting on whether or not to take Cupcake Blues to Canada, our team recommends the hiring of a certified project management planner with international experience. We would advise that the project manager also has experience specifically doing business in Canada. Also within 30 days of voting on whether or not to take Cupcake Blues to Canada, our team recommends initiating the recruitment process for the new business team members discussed later. Within 90 days, our goal would be to have all new business team members on board so they can help us develop our strategy for moving forward. Within 4 months, we would like to have all supplies and retailers firmed up and contracts signed for their services. Again, this largely depends on whether the management team decides to go direct or indirect exporting. We would advise a product launch no later than 6 months from now. Ideally, our product launch would coincide with holidays in December and New Year's festivities. we feel there are several opportunities for holiday-themed cupcakes and gift cards for Cupcake Blues specialty cupcakes. Once a decision has been made about taking Cupcake Blues to Canada, we recommend having bi-weekly meetings with the management team to ensure everyone is on the same page and the plan is moving forward. We assume everyone on the team will commit to following the project manager's timelines, as well as any new timelines that may pop up during the course of this venture. Cupcake Blues stakeholders in this venture may be obvious to some and not so obvious to others. I will identify the stakeholders I believe are integral to success of our launch into Canada. The most obvious stakeholder is the owner, Mrs. Simmons, and the management team at Cupcake Blues. In addition to our established team, Cupcake Blues has contracted the expertise of a project management planner specifically for this launch. Obviously, planning and preparation will be key. Our project management planner will help us identify the critical goals and help keep us on track so we can adhere to the agreed timelines. For this international launch, Cupcake Blues has also contracted with international law and export attorneys. As a responsible business owner, Mrs. Simmons wants to ensure Cupcake Blues respects all laws of Canada and we never have to second guess our business decisions because we do not know what the law is. Our business law and export attorneys will watch over us and help us every step of the way. Arguably, the most important element of our debut into Canada will be our new business partners and co-owners of Cupcake Blues International. Without their expertise and knowledge about the local market and business practices, we would be out there on our own. Because the co-owners are already established, well-known business owners, they bring credibility to our product in Canada. Our new co-owners also bring with them private investors. Their investment will be significant and will help sustain Cupcake Blues during the first 5 years of its development. At this time, there is no plan to take Cupcake Blues public. That's a conversation for a later day by a different team. Prior to, during, and after the introduction of Cupcake Blues to Canada, we will use surveys, run contests, and utilize other research tools to test the waters in Canada. From the data we collected so far, we know our product is well known in Canada. We know from past sales that Cupcake Blues sells to several hundred tourists from Canada each day. In conclusion, we would recommend continuing with the market research that has been started. If the research leads management toward taking our cupcakes to Canada, our team would recommend the team do its due diligence in the target area. Parallel to that, the team should develop a plan based on whether or not we choose to directly or indirectly export our specialty cupcakes. In the early stages of developing the plan, we should hire on a temporary basis the subject matter experts we need to move the plan forward. As discussed earlier, we will need to hire attorneys familiar with doing business in Canada, tax attorneys who are experts with the numerous tax and export laws in Canada. Along with those efforts, we need to hire a project management planner who has international project management experience. Finally, once we have a plan, we have the business team members we need, and the financial backing to sustain us, we need to work the plan. We believe if Cupcake Blues will adhere to the best practices we've outlined, and if the stakeholders will dedicate themselves to reaching the project goals and timelines, Cupcake Blues will be successful in bringing our specialty cupcakes to British Columbia for the first time. Thank you.